Hi everyone, so this is my first video of 2025, so Happy New Year to you all and hoping you really enjoyed the New Year celebrations. And I've got some new releases and some new-ish releases to show you today. So I'll be showing you this new one from Natasha Denona, her mini eye sculpt eyeshadow palette, which is the all matte. So I'll be doing a look with this. I've got the new Benefit Mighty Brow Triple Tip Superfine eyebrow pen to show you. I've got 3 shades here from the KJH brand, Jane Hughes, and this is a lipstick and cheek all in one product, and this is quite an interesting one. So I'm going to try this on and just swatch the other shades for you that I've got to show you. And I've got 2 Hindash highlighters which launched I think late summer, early autumn last year. It's taken me so long to get round to showing you these. I haven't even tried them yet. So these are called the Gradient highlighters. They look absolutely beautiful, so I can't wait to show you those. So lots of new things to show you today, so let's get straight into this. And if you're new here, hi, my name's Hannah. I'm 47, not a professional, just somebody who loves makeup and beauty. Here on my channel I review the latest releases, show you my favourite looks and give you any beauty news you might be interested in. If you think you'd enjoy that, I do upload here regularly on my channel and I would love it so much if you subscribed. If you're already subscribed, welcome back. I appreciate you all so very much. And when it comes to matching my skin tone, I've got fair to light skin with neutral/cool undertones, and I've got blue eyes. Anyway, that's enough about me. Let's get straight into this video. So I'll start with the eyebrow product. So I've actually already done this, so I'll play an overlay now showing you me trying this on. So this pen has these triple sort of trio brushes. You can see here, very fine. And my eyebrows are here in the video. I've already put down my gel and I've already put a sort of outline using my pen, which I always do. And now I'm filling it with this brush. Now I have to say, I don't find this quite as accurate as using the NYX brush that I like to use, which just has the single brush. But you can see here, this is how it looks when it's filled on one side. And then you can see how it looks when both sides are filled. So what do you think? So this was obviously my first impression of using this, and like I said, I feel like it's not quite as accurate and not quite as good. I feel like my brows don't look quite as defined, so it's quicker. It's certainly quicker. I do love to use the NYX one. If you're not familiar with it, I've got it here, and this one just has this very fine single tip. So that's the one I use all the time, and I am used to that. So this could just be a question of practicing more with it. I don't think this is terrible by any means. I think this is very good, and I think I need to practice more with it. So my recommendation with this would either be to wait for my end of month review, and I will tell you, am I using it over the next one, or do I like it as much? Or maybe just give it a try, because I can't say it's bad. I really can't. If you're looking for a quick way to fill your brows, I think this is a pretty good one. The shade, by the way, which I should have mentioned, is Warm Light Brown, shade 3. So anyway, I like it, and I'll certainly be using it for the rest of the month, but I don't know if it's going to replace my NYX just yet. So now let's get straight into this new eyeshadow palette from Natasha Denona. So I've got this a little bit late. Basically, it was available on the Natasha Denona website on Christmas Eve, I believe. So I could have ordered it Christmas Eve, paid for fast shipping, and normally I can get it within 3 days here in the UK, but not on Christmas Eve. I didn't believe that could work, not with all the holiday breaks that we have for postage services. So I waited for this to become available in the UK in Cult Beauty. So it is available at the moment in Cult Beauty, and I have linked that for you below. And obviously it's been available in the US from Sephora and the Natasha Denona website. So there's links for those below for you. So I'm a little bit late getting this, but I'm looking forward to trying it, because if you know me and you follow my channel, you know that I am very fond of using palettes like this to fix looks, change looks, just add little touches. They're very good sort of staples to have in my collection. And the one that I use all the time, which I will certainly be comparing it to over the next month, is my absolute favourite at the moment, the Black Diamond from Tom Ford. So this one does actually have the topper, but to give you an idea of the two together, very different. So my favourite shade in the Tom Ford is this one. And certainly the lightest shade in this is much more white and doesn't have that sort of pink, and I love that. So I don't think it'll be replacing that, to be honest. And this is black, whereas this one is more of a deep brown. And this is actually a shimmer, a sort of metallic-y shimmer brown. Slightly similar though to this shade, which is the one I like for deepening. So I don't see it replacing that, but it's certainly something that can be used regularly, I think. One of the other palettes I do tend to keep, which is right here in my drawer, is the Makeup by Mario, the neutrals. So I could show you that so you can see if you think some of them might already be here. So the Makeup by Mario has a black, it has a deep brown, which is actually deeper than the brown in this one. I'd say the brown here in the Mario palette is cooler. This brown here in the Natasha Denona one is quite a warm deep brown, isn't it? Whereas these three are probably pretty much repeated in the Mario. This one looks a little bit more yellow. The Mario one here looks more white, the lightest one. So it's definitely more warm tones than this. And I love the way that this one is so cool toned actually. So again, I don't know if it'll be a favourite. And my other favourite I keep in my top drawer for this sort of regular use is this one from Viseart. So this is the neutral mattes from Viseart. So I think we're probably more likely to find matches in this one. So the black, the deep brown, yeah, there's definitely a match there. In fact, I might do a swatch comparison between the two for that. So I'll do that quickly on my hand and you can see what you think. So here we have the Natasha Denona. The lightest one is here, so it's not quite in order of the palette because I ran out of space on my hand. And above here we have the Viseart neutrals. Very, very, very similar. The main difference I would say is actually these two, the sort of flesh coloured ones, which is this one here. This one is not quite in the Viseart. Very, very close match to this one here when I swatched it. The one in the Viseart is slightly more pinky, I'd say. And the lightest one in Natasha Denona looks slightly more yellow compared to the Viseart white. But as you can see here, they do look very, very, very similar. So I don't really think if you have the Viseart Matte Neutral that you need this. But the formula is different. The Natasha Denona formula feels a lot more buttery soft, very, very smooth and creamy feel to it. But that doesn't mean that it's a better formula because the Viseart formula for me, certainly in that palette and in most of their palettes, their matte formula is as good as Natasha Denona. It's fantastic formula, so I'm not going to say it's better. So I'm fairly confident in saying you don't need this if you've got that palette, to be honest. So on the website, Natasha describes these as buttery, so that is absolutely true. They are so soft and these are made in Italy. And the names of the shades are very easy. It's fair, light, medium, deep and black. So nice and easy shade names to remember. So I'm going to start with medium here using my Rapha number 1. And I'm going to put this straight here into the crease and above the crease. But I'm not going to take it anywhere further down. I'm just going to take it there. And with this being the third shade in the palette, I am expecting it to show up, which it obviously is. So this is not the lightest by any means, this is the third, which I think is a perfect sort of crease shade for me. And just bring it out a little bit here, but not bringing it down onto the eye further, so not bringing it into the outer V section of the eye there. Just taking it, like I said, into the crease, above the crease and just slightly out there. That is a lovely shade for giving you a bit of definition. This is actually one of the perfect shades on its own if you're going for more of a sort of no makeup look, but you just want that little bit of definition in this area here. Perfect actually. I mean, just doing that alone would really give you a really nice natural look. So on this side, I've clearly picked up a lot more on my brush. I don't know what I did there. Maybe I didn't tap off while I was talking. Anyway, these do blend out easily, so hopefully I can fix this. But it is quite pigmented, so do keep that in mind because clearly I picked up quite a lot of product then. But as you can see, blending out super easily. These formulas are so easy to work with. Natasha Denona formulas, you cannot go wrong really. I'm taking a little bit more here just to even this out really. I wasn't going to do that, but I have applied a little bit more on this side here, so I'm just evening those out a bit. I'm not terribly unhappy with that, but I was quite happy with the sort of lighter layer I initially had. I've got my SCULPT 4 brush from Refa, and I'm going to just go around the edges of all of this to just soften out before I start adding any sort of other colour. And I'm using this new brush from Delilah, this double-ended brush, which is perfect for lining one end and then a pencil brush on the bottom. So I'm going into this exact same shade, making sure I'm tapping off this time because there's quite a lot of fallout with this one, you know. And I'm just running this shade now underneath, so we're still using medium underneath here. Using my BK Beauty 207, I'm now going into the lighter shade, Light, and I'm going to take this now under the brow. This should be the perfect shade for giving a bit of brightness under the brow. And it is. I don't like it as much as my beloved Black Diamond shade from Tom Ford. But I like it, I do like it. There's just something about that Tom Ford shade that's perfection for me. But it does work, and it does soften the edge here as well above that brown, the medium. Now taking Refa SCULPT 03, I'm going to go into the darkest of the browns. This one is deep, and I'm just going to start building up a bit of depth here, taking a little bit into the outer corner. And just bringing it here into this outer V area, but nowhere else. So these just pretty much blend themselves. These formulas are exceptional. If you know the Natasha Denona matte formula, they are just so good, and they seem to somehow get better. This is a beautiful shade of brown here. It's blending in beautifully there to that medium. I think that they layer together very nicely. This is going to be a super easy everyday look for everybody, this palette. So I'm just slightly bringing this above the crease on the outer section of that V there, just so it's slightly visible when my eyes are looking directly at you, because I've got hooded eyes. So just bringing it slightly above. I'm back in with the SCULPT 04, which has nothing on it, to just go around it really and blend it in a little bit more. Give me smoother slightly edges. I'm taking some of this deeper brown, the deep, onto the Delilah brush again, and just taking it underneath in the same place. So stopping here. And now I'm going to take the liner end here of the Delilah brush and go into this black. Now I'm going to line above here. So stamp it and blend out a little bit. So I'm just taking it neatly here to the lash line. And I'm going to take this underneath, but only in the last sort of section here of my eye, so not all of it. So sort of starting there and just bringing it out for sort of small, very subtle wing. It's not a very dark black, as you can see there, because I'm applying this quite neatly with a dense brush. But that's fine by me, because for my skin tone I wouldn't want it to be too dark. But if you've got a deeper skin tone, you might prefer that to be a bit darker. And using the pencil brush, I'm now going to go into the darker brown there, put a tiny bit on the end. Now I'm going to smudge over this black to blend it in and make it look a bit less harsh. And now taking my flat Refa SCULPT 00, I'm going to go into the second lightest. So this one is called Light. And I'm going to take this here now on the lid. I'm going to start filling the lid with these last two colours. So starting with the second lightest and then finishing with the lightest. And now I'm going to take Fair, the very lightest. And now I'm going to put this on the rest of the lid, and this should bring a nice pop of brightness to the lid and pretty much complete the all matte look. And with the BK Beauty 207, I'm going to take this same Fair and bring this now into the inner corner to bring that pop of light there. I definitely don't prefer this to the Black Diamond for the inner corner. It does give me brightness, but there's just something about the Black Diamond shade which has that slight pinky edge to it, which is more perfect for my inner corner. I think this shade is lovely as a pop of light on the lid though. I think that gradient of browns to whites is beautiful. Just a final touch now with that fluffy SCULPT. I say fluffy, it's the biggest one, the 04. This one is the one that launched most recently, one of the two new ones. So here we have a very simple, not too deep, not too smoky, natural, neutral sort of look, which is the way I would choose to wear this. You could smoke this up a lot more by having a lot more depth with this shade here. There is a lot of pigment with this one, and obviously with the black you could really smoke it out. But for me, the way I would choose to wear this if I'm using it as a standalone would be like this, a very soft, subtle, everyday, easy look. But also, as I've said, I'll probably be using this for when I'm looking for liner shades. I think both of these would serve as liner shades. This one is a really soft brown, and this one, when I'm looking for a black, would be a good one as well. I do like how soft the black one is and how easily it just blended out. I think it's a really nice black one for that. This one is quite nice for under the brown in the inner corner, but for me it's not the perfect shade for that, in all honesty. These two I think are really good, so if I'm looking for a quick transition shade, either of these two actually would serve that purpose. So this one's slightly warmer, this one's slightly cooler, depending on what I'm looking for. So I don't think this is something I'll be using as a full look like I've done today. Maybe occasionally I will, but on the whole it's more that it would be a palette that I can dip in and out of when I need these things. So that's definitely what I'll be doing with it, and I'll be getting back to you at the end of the month to let you know if I've dipped into it, if I've found it useful, will it be traveling with me, because palettes like this are so good for travel. And probably the way I would choose to travel with it would be to take one of my favourite sort of one and dones, for instance the Bobbi Brown, the Power Puff, which is one I recently travelled with. So here is an example. I would probably put this one all over the eye to finish. So you've got a nice topper shade, but I've got lots of options here in my drawer where I do always keep shimmers for exactly that purpose. Another example being the Moon Dust Urban Decay palette. So we have 4 different shimmers here. I think pretty much all 4 of those would look great. Maybe the pink one would be a bit less perfect, but the other 3 would be great for just adding that pop of shimmer. If anyone would like to see me do this look with the shimmer added, let me know and I will film a shorts video demonstrating how that looks, but I thought today I would just leave it as this neutral matte look. And one other suggestion which I keep in my drawer is my Bobbi Brown, the absolutely stunning case Bobbi Brown, and this is the Moonstruck Luxe eyeshadow quad. Eyeshadow quad. So we have here 4 shades that would all work perfectly with this palette. So I mean, a very good way of traveling would be to literally just take these 2, but if you really want to go super light, like I said, I could just take one of my single shadows, just choose one, so I can have my sort of everyday look and then switch to night by giving that bit of glamour in the evening. Maybe that could be a really easy way of traveling, just a very easy everyday look for anyone really. So that's how I think this is pretty much intended, and that's exactly how I'll be using it. So quality, fabulous. They blended out beautifully. Colours not beating the Mario palette for me and not beating the Tom Ford, but I will keep using it and I'll get back to you, but I can't see the colours being quite as perfect for me, if I'm going to be honest. So that is how that is looking now with mascara. So just a very easy, pretty, everyday matte. Very, very easy. A very simple look. Like I said, could be smoked out more, but I think this is how I would wear it. So anyway, I'm now going to move on to the KJH blush. I'm finally getting around to this. I've had these for so long, it feels like, and I've been dying to show them to you. They are really, really lovely. These are the Soft Smudge Lip and Cheek. So multi-use cream to powder stick, if I can open it. And this delivers a soft matte sheer wash of colour. It's buildable, long wearing, has a non-drying formula, and it can be applied to the lips as well. And when it's applied to the lips, it mimics your sort of natural lip feel, so you don't really feel it on your lips at all, but it also is buildable and is pretty long lasting. So I'll show you the 3 shades I've got, starting with this one, which I won't be using today because this does not go with this look. So this one is the shade Coral, Soft Coral. Beautiful summer shade, this one. And then Soft Raisin. This is a lovely colour for this time of year. So that's an option for today, I think. And then Soft Berry. So I'll show you Soft Berry as well. So there's Soft Berry. So I think I will stick with the Raisin for today to keep it more of a sort of simple neutral look. But I think my favourite, having tried all 3, is Berry actually. I have done a shorts video of these. I don't know if I used Berry in that shorts video though. so I probably shouldn't head you over to there, but anyway, you might have seen me doing a shorts video. There's two different ways you can apply this, and I will show you both of the ways. One of those ways is by using this product from KJH, which came out before the blushes. This is the Hyper Shine Serum. So you might have seen this before, to be used in conjunction with these products. What they call, this one's actually the bronze shade, but these are sort of highlighter shades. And you can use these neat on their own, or you can change them completely by mixing it in with this, the serum. So I'm not going to be mixing the highlight because we're not looking at that today, but you might already have bought the two together because they are supposed to be used together. But this is one of the ways you can apply this blush. So on this side of my face, I've set it with powder, and on this side of my face, I haven't. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try it with mixing it with the serum first. So I'll put a little bit of the serum on my hand. You could use a mixing palette as well. So here it is how it looks. It's a clear serum. I'll just put a little bit there on the back of my hand, and then I'll take the blush and literally just put a little ball of it there on the back of my hand. So they're not currently mixed together. I've got the new BK Beauty 116. This is the brand new one that's just come out, the smaller round brush. So I'm going to now mix the two together, and then I will end up with a very sort of soft wash of blush with a sort of luminizer finish. And I'm going to put it on this cheek here. So maybe I haven't put enough to really show you that, but you can see it coming through actually. So what you're going to see here is a really, really natural, glowy, shiny finish. So I think personally that this type of finish is the perfect way for a sort of a natural no makeup look if you're going for that. So it would probably work quite well with this sort of eye look in a way, but it depends whether you like that glowy finish. So that's how it looks, but I will build it up a little bit more actually. So I'll actually start this time by putting blush directly onto my hand, and maybe a little bit less of that product. So here's the blush again here. I just put a tiny bit of the serum. I think I did put a bit too much the first time. And now mix the two together. I should get a slightly stronger wash of the shade this time. This is how it's looking on my hand, by the way, when it blends out. I'll give you an idea. And then just tap a little bit more on here. So yeah, you can see I'm getting a bit more pigment this time. So doing it this way, you're going to get less pigment, obviously, because you're diluting it, but you're also getting that glowy finish. So I find that extremely glowy, to be honest with you, and I don't like to have a wet finish. So I'm not sure if it's my personal favourite, but I know a lot of you do enjoy that sort of glowy finish. So I wanted to show you how that looks. But I'm going to show you now how this looks if I don't do that. I think for the summer, if you're using a skin tint and going for a very, very simple look, this is a really, really nice way of applying your blush. I do think I've possibly overdone it with the serum though, so it could be a bit my fault where I used a bit too much there. That's the wrong brush. I was going for the Refa, where are you? The new Refa as well. This is the Refa LC02. So this one is very similar, by the way, to the BK Beauty 109. I'll just show you these two side by side. I don't know if I've done this before now, I can't remember, but you can see here they are very, very, very similar in size and shape. And the 109 is the one I use for cream blush and contour. So that's why I'm now using the Refa LC02 for exactly the same purpose. So now I'm going in, you can swipe it, but it is quite a dry formula, so I do find it can lift a little bit. Oops, I just got some there. I prefer to take it directly onto the brush and then do it this way. So this is cream to powder, but it really is not very creamy at all. Now this, I think, is a much nicer way to apply it, so I hope you can see that, the difference. I think the colour looks better as well. So when applying it directly on top of powder, I find that the colour pops more as well. So another way of applying this would be to apply it underneath the powder. So put this directly on top of your foundation, then powder, then you could add a bit more. When you do it that way, it's a sort of way of locking it in. But I do find when you put it directly on top of powder, you do see the pigment that much more. But even on top of powder, can you see just how easily that blended in? It blends in extremely easily. I'll take a little bit more now. So it is buildable, like it says it is, and that's absolutely true. It's very long lasting. This really does last and I just really enjoy it. I think they blend out absolutely beautifully. Very similar in a way to the Chanel cream to powder formula in the way that they apply and the way that they last. I really do like them a lot. So it's a completely different application, or a different applicator rather, but a very similar finish. There are another 2 shades. I'm not going to go any more than that. I think that's enough. So I've built this up 3 levels of shade now with this soft resin. I think that's absolutely enough for me. I'm hoping I can powder this side down to start making them look a little bit more even, because I do feel I've got way too much here of that serum. In fact, I'm going to take a tissue to absorb some of it before I even do that, because I do feel I put too much. I'm going to powder now over this side and basically have exactly the same application on this side. So that's taken away most of that shine and most of that blush, so I can now go in with the same blush, well, the same application method and same brush rather on this side to even out both sides. And to finish up, I'll just use my Sonia G Buffer Pro, and I've got my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless in the shade Fair, and I'm just going to go around the edges to soften that a little bit, because I did over apply a little. I just want it to really smooth into the cheeks, which this powder is so good for doing. So now this can be applied straight to the lips, so you can obviously just apply it neatly or directly rather, or you can take a lip brush, which is what I'm going to do. I've got my Chikuhodo brush here, and now I'm just going to apply this all over. I've got my Delilah Lip Saviour underneath, which I always have, so I've already got a bit of moisture on my lips. And I do think it's better to have a little bit of moisture underneath before applying something like this, because it is quite a dry matte. It's not creamy at all, really. This applies so easily, and you do get a lot of longevity, and I do love to have it matching with my cheeks, and I think this colour is actually beautiful. So there is soft resin on lips and cheeks, and I think these are absolutely stunning. So I definitely recommend getting these. I love them so far from trying them, and now that I've actually shown you, I will try to test them out even more. But I would keep my peach shade, my coral shade, for the summer. But certainly the raisin and what was the other one called? The soft berry, perfect for winter, sort of autumn times of the year. So I do have, hopefully, I think they said they'd send me some of the other 2 shades. I bought these ones myself, so I might have more to show you. And if I do, I'll add that in somewhere. But anyway, absolutely love those. So now to finish with the highlighters. Now, I think I bought these around September time, and I haven't tried them. There were just so many releases. I bought them, they arrived while I was away, and I came home to all the Christmas releases, and I just haven't had time, which seems like a crime when I show you how absolutely stunning these are. So this is the paler of the 2. This one is called La Luna. This one is a lilac moon, it's described as. A multi-dimensional moon pearl in a transparent base that features a complex shimmer of light pearls. A subtle lilac gradient acts as a brightening effect on the skin, creating the most angelic of auras. So let me show you that on the back of my hand. Wow. That does look pretty sensational. This one would look fabulous on the eyes, wouldn't it? Very tempting to put that on the eyes now after what I said about the eyes, but anyway, can I resist? And the other one I've got, which is even more stunning, this one is quite exceptional. This one is called Doll Dynasty. So this one is called Universal Doll Fantasy, a multi-dimensional champagne base with a complex shimmer of varying pearls. Subtle pink gradient acts as a kiss of pink that melts the pearls into the skin, creating the dreamiest of complexions. If I swatch this one is absolutely gorgeous as well. Stunning, isn't it? Absolutely beautiful. And there is another one called Peak Heat, which I didn't get, and that one is described as a multi-dimensional neutral bronze base. That was too dark for me, with a complex shimmer of deeper pearls. The subtle bronze gradient acts as a wash of satin bronze to a full-on sun-beamed highlight, creating a sun-drenched sizzle. So you can look for that one as well. So this is a hybrid gel powder highlighter formula which mimics pure light on the skin, giving you a sheer glow right up to the ultimate shimmer. a transparent structure with the pearlescent pigments in the purest form. This promises zero powder fallout, a weightless film. It does have talc in it. No, sorry, it is talc free. It's fragrance free, paraben free. And these are $40 each. And I did have to get these directly from Hindash. So here in the UK, I had to wait quite a while for them to arrive, which was another reason why they didn't get reviewed as quickly as they should have. So let's start with the lightest one. So I'm going to have two very different cheeks really. But this one, I do wonder if it's going to be too light. But then the Chanel one in pearly white, I love. So maybe this one will just about work on me. So let's see. So I've got my Refa number 20 fan brush. Let's just take some here on the cheek. Oh no, that is not too much. That is actually beautiful. It's not over the top at all for a white on me. And it's not giving that sort of shiny grey tinge to the skin that you get sometimes with these white ones. That's actually a perfect one. That just makes me look like I've got a perfect shine without really making it obvious that I've got a highlighter on, I think. That is beautiful. Wow. Thank goodness I finally reviewed these so they can go onto my desk, because this is definitely staying on my desk. Look at that. Beautiful for mature skin, you know. I don't think this is one that emphasises texture particularly. Obviously all highlighters do, but I think this is quite a friendly one. And for my skin tone, I think that is actually perfect. Now the one I'm most interested in might not be so perfect. I think it's the colour I love, and I love the gradient of this. Look at it, it's just so pretty, isn't it? Anyway, we have to try it on. And I think this maybe might be better for me in the summer. But let's see, is this too deep? This is definitely going to work better, I think, for light to medium skin tones, and then maybe the third shade would work for deep skin tones. So it's covering, the three highlighters are covering all skin tones in theory. So straight away I don't think it's as perfect a highlighter, but it still works. I'm still happy with that. I think that this one would be really nice in the summer when I'm wearing a peachy shade, when I'm a little bit darker, if I'm going to bother with tan every winter. I convince myself I won't be, and then every summer I end up doing it. But yeah, that still looks beautiful, you know. But I do prefer this side, I think. But I don't think I can resist putting some on my eyelids now. So when I said you can change the Natasha Denona look from a sort of day to night look with a one and done, you can also do it with a highlighter. So that's another way of traveling with even less. So take your highlighter for the face and then you can add it to the eyes. Actually, quickly before I add this one to the eyes, I'm going to take it down the nose as well, and a bit above the cupid's bow, and a little bit here. Perfect for the cupid's bow. This would also look really good, you know, in the inner corner. So let's take a little bit of this on the eye. Oh, look at that. For a gentle wash of shimmer. You can see how subtle and gentle it is, because that is not giving a crazy amount of glitter and shimmer by any means. It's giving me a very fine shimmer. That is actually perfect on top of this, isn't it? It really is perfect. Some of the ones I showed you, like the Bobbi Brown Luxe formula, that would give a really sort of party glitter finish to the eye. This is just giving a gorgeous fine shimmer, which has changed the look of my eyes straight away. Oh, I love it. I have to put it in the inner corner. I know I'm supposed to be just showing you the Natasha Denona on my eyes, but I can't resist. So I'm going to take the 207 and pop that in the inner corner. So I'm going over that shade, which I wasn't a massive fan of, if I'm honest. It wasn't quite the right shade, and this is so much better for inner corner. Look at that. I think that's one of the nicest highlighters I've ever put on my eyes, you know. I think the formula of it is so beautiful and elegant. Look at it. Look at that. Wow. So I can't wait to do exactly the same sort of thing with this one, you know, when I'm wearing a slightly warmer look. where maybe when I've got something slightly orangey. Apologies for all the noise in the background there. We've got a bit of a busy house and they just started rabbiting away near my door. So apologies if you heard all of that then. But yeah, I just think that is perfect. Absolutely stunning. So I'm really glad I've tried these, but the winner out of the two, despite this one being so stunning, is this one, definitely. So this is La Luna. This is perfect for my complexion. This one really is perfection for my complexion. That rhymes. So this one will be staying on my desk and getting regular use, and I definitely will be trying the other one more in the summer, but I'm so delighted I tried it now. So that is the standout actually of everything I've just reviewed. But looking back on everything, I can't say anything I've tried is a fail. The first thing we looked at was, I put it away actually, the Benefit Triple Blade, is it called? Trio Blade? The Triple Ultra Fine. It's got a ridiculously long name, that's why I keep forgetting. The Superfine Triple Tip Brow Pen, Triple Ultra Fine. There we go. Mighty Fine Brow Pen. It's got all sorts of things written on it. Anyway, this, okay, I'm not a favourite so far, but it works, it does the job. Maybe not as precisely and not quite as well as a single, I think, but it's quicker. So I do need to use that more to let you know if I'm still using it and if I'd repurchase. At the moment, I'm on the fence. Then the Natasha Denona palette, so the Mini Eye Sculpt palette. This one blends absolutely beautifully, and as you can see, when you add a shimmer, it becomes a really gorgeous, everyday sparkly look. I love that. I don't know if this will become a firm favourite. Like I said, I don't think it can replace my absolute favourites for this purpose. So if you already have the Viseart neutrals, I really don't think you need this. If you don't, this one is a bit smaller, a bit more compact, and probably got the perfect shades for you. So this could be a perfect option for you. If you have the Mario neutrals, I don't think you'll like this one as much if you prefer the Mario because it's cooler. This one is definitely leaning quite warm, so I know a lot of people are disappointed with that. They would like to see more cool tones from Natasha, and I absolutely agree with you. But this is good. Do we already have all of these shades? Absolutely, and we probably have them in all the Natasha Denona palettes really, but that's really the purpose of this, is having something quick for travel. So like I said, this with a highlighter and you've got yourself your full eye look. Very easy. So lots of possibilities with that. Love the formula. If you like the colours, I definitely recommend it. And then the KJH blushes and lip. Well, you can see my lips still feel really comfortable without me adding any sort of gloss or balm on top. This colour will lock in for a good few hours. I love applying it without using the serum, as you could see, but you can make it very glowy with the serum, or you can apply it as that sort of matte finish. So it's that cream to powder. Very, very easy to blend out, as easy as the Chanel in my opinion. And I love matching it lip to cheek, so love these, absolutely love them. And then the winner of the day was the Hindash highlighters. I think that they are absolutely gorgeous, and the star of the show being this beautiful white one. So I worried this would be too white, but it's actually my perfect white. It really is. So it does say something about a lilac tint in it from what I remember. A subtle lilac gradient it says, but it is just perfect. And on the eyes, genuinely at the moment, I think this is the best highlighter I've ever put on my eyes. Honestly, that's how good it is. Perfect for inner corner, perfect for that bit of shimmer. Completely transformed this all matte look on my eyes, and I love the way it looks on my cheek. So perfect highlighter for me. That is definitely staying on my desk and getting a lot of use. So there we have it. That is everything from today reviewed. I would love to hear your thoughts on everything I've tried. Have you picked any of these products up? Are you interested in them? Do you think they're terrible? Whatever your opinions, I would love to hear them. And if you have enjoyed it, please do hit the like button. And if you're not subscribed, please do subscribe. It's super, super helpful to me here on YouTube. And if you're already subscribed, you mean the world to me. And I really appreciate you all really very, very, very much. And I hope to see all of you again for my next video. Take care, everybody. Bye.